Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando, that's Corey, and today we're doing 1982's Rocky 3.
I can't do this review.
Why?
I'm afraid, okay? I'm afraid.
So this review was requested on Patreon by Jim, who I believe requested the whole Rocky franchise. We're getting to them eventually.
Your name's not Damien, so good job.
But if you want to follow the show, you could follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Kiss the Reviews. And you can also subscribe at Patreon. We have the $2 tier, $5 tier, $10 tier, where we have for our $10 subscribers, the $2 you get, all the pre-show stuff, you get clips of the movie, and you get a little bit something extra with every tier. And we have gifts for our $10 subscribers. It's KTR merch. So what's included? Exclusive stickers, mini prints, exclusive mugs, kind of like this.
Hair, teeth.
Exactly.
Lace front wigs.
We also have a t-shirt, but you get all those for free for being a $10 subscriber.
Use toilet paper.
We also have in the description below our store, which you can buy the mug, the hat, and hoodies and all kinds of crazy shit. So
empty tubes of travel toothpaste.
Whatever you need.
We got everything, bro.
The morning after pill with the little KTR logo on it. It's good to go.
Shit, you could just call Dr. Idol for that. I got it down.
He'll give you a little scrape and scoop.
That's it, dude.
All right. With that said, let's get into the cast of Rocky 3.
This got demonetized so fast.
I think Scrape and Scoop did it.
I hope you're happy, Jim. We just had to fucking demonetize this entire video, which is going to be huge because it's Rocky 3.
It's going to be so huge.
Somebody had to talk about Schmishmortion tonight.
So this film stars Sylvester Stallone as Rocky Balboa, Talia Shire as Adrian, Burt Young as Paulie, Mr. T as Clubber Lang, Burgess Meredith as Mickey, Carl Weathers as Apollo Creed, and a special appearance from Hulk Hogan as Thunderlips.
This was pre Hulkamania for sure.
Yes, or during, I don't know, 82. This was
this was pre-Hulk. This was right before when he was about to really jump off.
Gotcha. This is before all the N-word stuff. This is before.
Oh yeah, Republican conventions and N-words and sex tapes and barter. Like, what is it with Republic? Side note: what is it with Republicans and hot dog fucking skin with weird blonde hair? Unnatural blonde hair. What the fuck is this?
I'll say this.
Is it like a deer fungus? Like, what the fuck is happening?
His hair in this one. In this movie in 82, it hadn't completely gone. Like, he still had some on top. It was just massively receding at that point. It still looked like normal person hair.
Mm-hmm.
It hadn't gone with that silky, like, smooth, whatever. I don't know what he did to his hair after it started falling out on top. He was using like VO5 hot oil treatments or whatever.
I think he sewed that fucking hair in. He had Glenn Close sew that hair in.
That's the name of the game.
Let's get into this one because, spoiler alert, this is literally one of my favorite movies. I know I love Rocky 2. I love all the Rockies. Well, most of the Rockies. Like you said in the pre-show, obviously formulaic. This is, there's a whole system to this thing. But this one, like, Mr. T is so fantastic in this movie. He doesn't have a lot of scenes, but every time he's on camera, it's captivating.
Oh yeah, he's dope as fuck.
Like I loved all of it front to back. But
Yeah, for an introducing Mr. T
yeah,
in the credits, this was awesome.
no, this was amazing by him. When do we know when, because we don't do research here, when the A-Team came out? Was that post Rocky 2?
I don't know.
Or Rocky 3 rather?
Yeah,
I don't know. We
You
I'll
definitely
have to
don't know.
check.
You don't even know what movie we're fucking reviewing right now.
Also very true. I do drink a lot. So let's just jump into this one, man, because this is fantastic, because this one opens like Rocky 2 opens, like Rocky 5 opens, like all of these other subsequent Rocky movies all open with the ending, the full ending of the previous movie.
I appreciate it because you can just fast forward right through it.
No, absolutely.
Just get me to the new one. I've seen this. I know what's going to happen. Let's move on. Yeah. And I appreciate it. It shortens the movie. By the end of it, I'm like, fuck, that was pretty short. Yeah, because you saved like 20 goddamn minutes.
But so we get the Rocky beating Apollo Creed at the end of 2. And then we go right into the Eye of the Tiger score with a montage of Rocky beating the shit out of a bunch of boxers, doing commercials, and just in general, just being rich. And we also...
Not really doing commercials. They finally figured out. It took them like 4 years to figure out how to actually market Rocky. And it was don't let him speak. Just do print ads.
No, well,
it's him on GQ, and then him posing next to fucking shit.
There's him doing the American Express commercial. Like,
well, yeah, but that's like American Express. Cars work and money does things.
Well, because they gave him the script 3 weeks before they shot, so that Burgess Meredith can go over the script with him.
They told him it was a gold card, and he bid it the first time. Like, this isn't gold.
But on the other side of this montage, we get Mr. T angrily watching Rocky, win and be rich, and he's fucking dudes up too. Like, Mr. T is just destroying people. But my favorite part of this whole montage is watching Paulie watch Rocky's success and falling deeper into his alcoholism.
Yo, Paulie in this movie needs a complete rewrite. Because he went from like a good-hearted fuck up who was on getting his life together to now he's just like, fuck everybody and Rocky sucks. It's like, dude, that $5 suit was probably bought by Rocky.
Yeah.
You couldn't even beat people up and collect money correctly. That's how bad at your job you were.
Well, that's the funny thing. At the end of 2, in the middle, towards the end of 2, Rocky gets him the job with Sazzo or Blazo or Blamo or whatever his name is.
Whatever.
Doing the collecting on the docks or fucking whatever. Mm-hmm. And he seems to be doing good. Like, he buys Rocky's car in cash from him. He's wearing nice suits. He's got his fucking goddamn snow cone machine or whatever the hell. Like, he seems to have like got his shit together, and then cut to part 3, and it was like, apparently not. He's just a full-on wino. Like, he's not even a drunk. He's a wino. Because he's drinking like Mad Dog here and getting like shit-faced. And if you've ever gotten shit-faced on Mad Dog, it's not a good drunk. Okay? Take it from somebody with some experience.
I want to tell him too, like, everybody's like, hey, tell Rocky we said hey, tell Rocky blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, your fucking sister's married to a famous guy. That's what's going to happen. He's like, you never wished me the best. It's like, yeah, because you come in here like a drunk fucking animal. I've been running the tab for you for 6 years. You haven't paid a dime on. The only reason you're allowed in here is because I know you have a rich fucking brother-in-law who is good for the money if it ever gets to that point.
Yep.
So yeah, tell your brother-in-law. He said, "Hey, hope everything's going well." Yeah, you tell me nothing. Yeah, because you're a piece of shit. I don't hope things are going well for you.
Every time I see you, you break things. I don't like you. You're kind of a douche. Like Rocky's the lovable dummy. Like everybody loves him.
Yeah.
Because he's not a drunk asshole. But
yeah. Take
we
notes.
cut to Mr. T on TV here, challenging Rocky to a championship fight while Paulie's drunk at the bar. And then he stumbles into an arcade, gets mad at the Rocky pinball machine, and throws the bottle of Mad Dog at it and shatters it. So he gets hauled off to jail. And Rocky bails him out here.
And
right?
they really hauled him off to jail, not because he broke a pinball machine. I mean, it's a fucking arcade in South Philadelphia. The shit gets broken all the time. He looks like a goddamn pedophile. Who wondered what kind of drunk slob in a fucking suit like that wanders into a goddamn arcade at like fucking 10 o'clock at night? What are you doing?
Dude, and the because he's drunk, the smiling and giggling he does as he's walking in,
looking at the kids.
It's so pedo-rific. Like he's just like looking around and the camera's panning at all the kids and he's like
he's like, Rocky never took me to that island. Ugh, chucks the fucking bottle out of it.
Did you ask me? Is there something matter with me?
They get into a fight after Rocky bails him out because he's like, you never did shit for me. And I was like, dude, have you thrown a punch in a ring? Like, what? Okay. It's time to discuss the hangers-on to professional athletes. You've done nothing. I've done all the work. I owe you fuck all. If I give you stuff, it's out of the kindness of my own heart. Say thank you and move the fuck on. Paulie goes apeshit here, and he starts throwing punches at Rocky. Okay, listen, you and I are friends with some former athletes. I'm not trying to tackle them if I get mad at them. Like, what are you fucking? You're just throwing punches at a fucking professional boxer in his prime. That's what we're doing here.
Well, this is what guys like Paulie do. First off, you're right. How are you? No wonder you couldn't collect money on the docks for the fucking mob because you punch like a fucking 8-year-old. Okay, and not the one that knocked Cat Williams out, like an actual 8-year-old. Not an 8-year-old from Puerto Rico who's like actually 27.
How old are you?
I'm 12.
The unbelievable fucking gall on this fucking man.
Absolutely.
To be like, you owe me. And this is how you, like, Rocky is the nicest guy in the world. He's given people everything. He'll sit there and talk to you and treat you like you're his fucking best friend as long as you're not a piece of shit. Right?
Yep.
And you get Rocky to the point where he has to be like, Paulie, you're a lazy drunk bum. Like, dude, for Rocky to say that to you, you know you fucked up.
Well, listen, we all know Paulie has no sense, right? Because they come from it's not a good pedigree, okay? Adrian and Paulie did not swim in the best gene pool, okay?
No, Adrian seems smart because she's next to fucking Ray Romano's dumb brother.
But we cut to the next scene and it's Rocky and Adrian in bed, and Rocky's trying to teach her how to sing the doo-wop line in the song, and she doesn't understand how words sound. That's what we're doing here. You're what they call a fucking moron.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, kids. Uncle Corey here. Don't serenade anyone ever unless your name is Babyface or fucking, if you're Paulie, R. Kelly, that should be your role model. But like Jared from Subway, Paulies of the world, should not be serenading people. That's not how they're getting ass. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, so, like, even if you are in bed with the love of your life, I'm like, hey, can I serenade you a little bit? The answer should be fucking no.
Can I serenade you while I'm in my silk pajamas?
Right. And then he kissed me. Do. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't care how much money you have, okay? I just had a conversation with somebody about this. Like, I don't care how much money you get in your life. You could win the lotto, you could work hard, have your own company, whatever. You're a billionaire. At no point with unlimited funds. Should you ever buy silk fucking pajamas? Just go to bed in shorts and a t-shirt like a normal fucking person.
It's new money. This is everything Rocky has and does.
Everything
is
in this
new
house.
money.
Everything in this house screams new money.
New money.
The
He's Kathy
curtains-
Bates in Titanic. New money.
But the next scene is this is where Balboa fights a wrestler named Thunderlips for charity. And Thunderlips goes ape shit. He goes into like this steroid rage. Mickey has his first heart attack here. And
Can I tell you the truth here?
because
I've always looked at this
nothing
the
but
same
the
way.
truth.
Okay, let's get real.
Let's get real.
This is one of the more accurate scenes because I'm a fucking huge wrestling fan.
Yes.
Especially from back in the day, little less now. But
We know you are 12. Yes.
yes, I like wrestle. So when these guys think it's like you're disrespecting wrestling and like you think wrestling's fake, and he's like, how about I'll chase you and you chase me? That's how every wrestler would act. They're like, oh, I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of you. That's why he's like, oh, it's fake, meatball, right? It's all fake.
It's all fake, you little dago. I'm gonna fuck you up.
That's pretty much what he's saying the entire time. And then like the way he acts like towards the crowd and knows he's the villain, so he lets Rocky come back because Rocky ain't beating Thunderlips. I don't put my gloves off. Remember the streets, Rocky. This ain't Rocky 5. He ain't fighting Tommy Gunn, who's fucking HIV positive on set. Get the fuck out of here. That guy's drinking fucking cocktails in between goddamn takes. And you want him to actually do like a street fight scene. This is fucking Thunderlips, bro. He knows what he's doing.
They had to get Hulk Hogan to jump on a fucking trampoline in order for Rocky to actually get him above his chest to throw him over the top rope.
Yep. And then Thunderlips at the end being like, it's all the name of the game. You know what I mean? Like he knew he was supposed to lose because he was the heel.
Yeah.
So just everything, this whole scene, like I used to look at it and kind of laugh, like everybody else, Hulk Hogan and Rocky and the height difference and the silliness of the whole thing. Yeah, you're right. It's all fucking goofy. But from a wrestling perspective, this is one of the most accurate scenes I've seen. It's so
100%, 100%. But we cut to the infamous downtown Philly area where they have like the marching band. We get the unveiling of the Rocky statue that apparently after the shooting of this movie has never moved. They were just like, too heavy to move. We're keeping it here. And this is where Clubber Lang shows up as Rocky's announcing his retirement. And he challenges Rocky to a fight because he's been ducking him. And this is also where he goes after Adrian.
Hey, woman. Listen here. Since your old man ain't got no heart, maybe you'd like to see a real man.
Probably one of my favorite scenes.
Probably Rocky's greatest nightmare. A gigantic black dude from the south side of Chicago is going, hey, woman, to his wife. And he knows he can't do shit about it.
We've heard all the stories. We've heard the stories about Philly.
This is a South Philly Italian dude. All right. What do you think he thinks?
I know.
Was literally taught to him in school. They're coming to steal the women.
I know that Rocky is like civilized in things now, but Rocky, regardless of what airs he's putting off here, Rocky came from the same neighborhood that Paulie came from. Mm-hmm. So that tells you everything you need to know.
Even Adrian's face is like, oh shit. Like, literally all of the racism in South Philly came out in this one scene.
Absolutely. And Rocky's like, I'm not retiring. No. I got to knock this dude out.
I got to. I can't let him steal my wife. She's white.
And this is where Mickey admits to Rocky, because Mickey gets all pissed. We're not going to fucking fight, and you get the fuck out of here. And then he admits to Rocky that he was setting up softball fights to keep Rocky safe so he can hold on to his title.
It's like, yeah, Rocky, didn't you watch the opening credits? These guys you were fighting were more Peter McNeely than they were fucking Larry Holmes. You know what I'm saying?
They looked like me. They were a little chubby in the midsection. It was like, listen, I'm not throwing rumors out there, but I'm like, listen, Rocky been juicing. He was natty in 1 and 2. This dude went like beefy Brad Pitt for part 3. I'm like, there was some needles around the ass area of Rocky.
I don't even think he was using needles. I think he was injecting horse sperm the old-fashioned way to get that fucking cut and that fucking lean.
And he's just fighting bums from Philly. And he's like, why are all the guys that I'm fighting from Philly? Like, aren't there other fucking
he's never fought anywhere. Like Vegas. I've never even heard of that town.
He fought Spider 5 times.
And then he made the poor punchy bastard a fucking busboy at his restaurant later. Hey, he's like, hey, Rock, somebody's here to see you. Spider, table 3 needs cleaned up. Don't talk to me. I think that's how it went. I haven't seen that one in a while.
In true Rocky fashion, Mickey finally breaks down, agrees to train him for this final fight against Clubber Lang. And Mickey gets pissed because his training turns into a goddamn circus. And we see, you know, the differences between, like, Clubber Lang is training like Rocky used to back in the day when he was a poor, and he was like, oh, I'm just grabbing ropes and doing pull-ups and shit.
Corey's life lessons.
Hi, kids. Uncle Corey here. We got a problem. If you convince me, when I tell you you can't do something, like, dude, I'm telling you, you don't have it anymore. You're too fat, too old, too stupid, too lazy, too whatever the fuck. Because I've told everybody all of those things before. Mainly Armando, all at the same time.
Sure.
Like, stop trying. You're too fat, lazy, old, etc. But when they convince you, they can still go. And, like, I have to do this for myself, for the honor of my wife, whatever the fuck reason you have to do this. Do it. Don't do this. You're training like everything. You know now. Everything for the past however many years has been bullshit. You know it. Mickey knows it. Adrian knows it. Everybody knows this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's all out in the open. And you're still training less than you did before for the fake fights. After Mickey said this guy is going to fucking kill you inside of 3 minutes. And he almost does.
This guy will kill you to death inside of 3 rounds.
You're crazy.
When a man that loves you tells you this, when a father figure tells you something like that,
listen,
take their fucking advice. Or if you're going to convince them to watch you get murdered, possibly, train really, really hard. Run after chickens again and swing sledgehammers on tires or whatever tough guys do. Not me. I don't know what that's like. I smoke weed. So just if you're going to fucking do it, do the thing.
Yeah, just go balls out. Like Rocky says, oh, we're going to do it. We're going to go out with a bang or do it with class or whatever he says here. And it's like, yeah, no, that's not how you do it. Like, you train.
No, I'm rooting against you now.
Yeah, you beat the fuck out of this guy, and we call it a fucking day. But he doesn't, and we get to the fight where Mickey has another heart attack or whatever before the fight.
Well, in fairness, I think Clubber Lang just touching old-ass Mickey at this point literally stopped his heart. When Mickey grew up, black guys weren't allowed to even, like, come in the same restaurant. And this guy put his hand on him. Like, it was just too much for him to handle. I'm telling you, man, the South Philly racism is right here for you to see.
It's thick. It's thick.
He literally dies because a black dude touched him for the first time ever.
In 75 years.
Yes.
But, so, Rocky goes to the ring without Mick. He gets his ass handed to him. And after the fight, Rocky gets into the locker room as Mickey dies. And I told you this in the pre-show.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the scenes where like I get into my like this movie gets me into my feels. But I didn't realize how funny and sad this scene is, because you have Rocky doing his mush mouth Rocky thing because he's crying and his mouth doesn't work. So you get the and it's very sad. I started tearing up and laughing hysterically all at the same time. I felt all the feelings in this all at once.
Yeah, I don't even know, because I'm in the same boat. Like, this was one of those scenes where I'm like, oh my God, is my dad gonna die someday? You know, like, holy shit. And then Rocky starts crying, like, because Burgess Meredith died. This is one of the best death scenes I've ever seen.
100%.
It's so good. It seems natural. It's sad, and like all he cares about is Rocky and what Rocky did. That's all he like. As long as Rocky got through the fight, he could die happy. That's all he wanted. So it is truly an emotional scene. And I said this before, these movies low key have a fuckload of heart in them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're easy to make fun of because Rocky's so fucking stupid. And everything he does translates to stupidity. But there's so much heart in this. And I mean, there is like this drama and this sadness. It's just terrible. And then Rocky starts, we gotta get out there and do stuff that we never did, and stuff and things that the stuff did, and things and stuff doing. It's like, bro, I get it, but also compose yourself.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
and then
your wife is right there. You can't cry like that in front of your wife.
You're an Italian from South Philly. You can't cry like that in front of your wife.
You can't cry, period. You just have to go break something.
You were correct.
Rocky then goes on his soul-searching campaign. He drives his motorcycle to a statue, then to Mickey's gym. This is where Apollo tracks him down, and Apollo's there to talk business. He wants to train Rocky for the rematch with Clubber Lang.
You're skipping over one more horribly big. I don't know if it's bigotry or racism. I don't know where it falls in these days. But Rocky at the funeral for Mickey finds out for the first time that Mickey is Jewish. And is not happy. He is not happy about it. He's saying words in a language he doesn't know. He doesn't know what the words mean. He thinks he renounced Christ. Like, that's really what Rocky's like traveling. He's not that he lost Clubber Lang. He's just like, am I a fucking Jew now? Like, I don't know what to do. Like,
you know what I noticed?
You
know what I noticed about this scene? The Mickey funeral, if you want to call it that scene, is Rocky looks the fucking coolest in this. Those fucking sunglasses that he's got. I know he's covering up the black eye or whatever. Yo, that's the sunglasses with the suit. That Rocky looks dope as fuck in this. Like, it's what Italians do. We go to a funeral and we dress to the nines. Like, dude, you have to. He had all his gold on, fucking necklaces.
I haven't seen a fucking Jew-hating son of a bitch dressed that well since Hugo Boss. Straight up.
Walt Disney dressed pretty nice as well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
You were right.
Rocky agrees here. And Apollo, Rocky, Adrian, and Paulie all fly to LA because Apollo wants him to train where he trained and get back to like the nitty-gritty of we were poor once and we had the eye of the tiger and yada yada.
And just in case this subtle racism was lost on you, they want to make sure you understand what South Philly's about right now.
I was literally going to say, this is where Paulie gets on like the racist superhighway. Like, he takes the bullet train on this thing. They get to Apollo's old gym, And Paulie is uncomfortable. He's as uncomfortable as Ron Burgundy when he meets Megan Good in Anchorman 2.
I'm terribly sorry. I don't know why I can't stop saying black. The word black.
He says you can't train him like a colored fighter. He's got no rhythm. He can't dance to this jungle music.
Yeah.
I was like, thank God nobody made me pay for this, because I feel like the donation is going to the fucking KKK at this point. Like, I think they may own the movie rights at this point.
After watching this, Corey made a quick donation to the NAACP.
Oh my God. So much money went to the NAACP, the United Negro College Fund. I didn't give a fuck. I sent it everywhere.
You were correct.
I sent Black Flag pesticides money because I was like, dude, I'm covering all bases.
But we get to Rocky beginning to train with Apollo. And Rocky starts training, pisses Apollo off because his heart ain't in it. He's half-assing it. He trains like a bum with, to Paulie's point, no rhythm until Apollo finally loses it on him. This is where, he gives him the "there is no tomorrow" speech. Mm-hmm. Well, speech. It's one line.
Let's do it tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
And this is where Rocky and Adrian have this big blow up on the beach, where she basically calls him a little bitch. Mm-hmm. And apparently that snaps him out of the funk. And this is where we get the montage of Rocky fully bought in and training to beat Clubber Lang with the iconic Rocky score underneath. Like,
yep.
If there's something that can get you amped up for any task, and I don't care if you're raking leaves, play the fucking Rocky score with a montage of Rocky training. That'll get you amped to do pretty much anything.
Oh yeah.
Like 100%. I wanted to fight my family during this.
I jogged all the way to fucking TCBY yogurt. I got a double scoop of that fucking strawberry froyo and then ran the fuck home. Felt like a goddamn where I threw up 3 times on the way home, but I did it.
Yeah, so we get that montage, and then we get to fight night.
Not even going to congratulate me?
No, why?
Because I did something.
Are you fucking proud of yourself? Do you want a
goddamn
cook? I was gonna say, do you want a cookie? But you got a froyo, so
yeah, I was
good. There's your fucking trophy.
I thought you'd support me a little bit more. It's the first time I've been off the couch in 5 years.
Did you get it in the upside down baseball hat cup?
Yeah,
of course I did. Why don't they do shit like that? I haven't seen that in forever, by the way.
Right? That used to be the shit. Probably because fucking kids used to eat the plastic or something. Some kid got fucking allergic to plastic and peanuts, and we're just like, stop! No more baseball helmets. Paper cups only.
Paper cups only. Paper champions only. So we then get to fight night. This is where Apollo gives Rocky the trunks he wore in their fight together, and Clubber Lang predicts pain. And this whole leading up to, I know I mentioned Rocky may or may not have partaken in some performance enhancing drugs during his career here. If anybody has been taking performance enhancers, it's Clubber Lang. This dude is a fucking lunatic. If a boxer, and movie, no movie, real life, whatever, if a boxer literally attacked the media in the locker room, they're not in the locker room, first of all. And Rocky has a really nice dressing room. Clubber Lang is again, South Philly racism. Clubber Lang is in the basement of this arena. There's fucking pipes, dirty locker behind him.
Oh, dude, he had to change in the crowd. Rocky's the tunnel leading to Rocky's locker room literally says whites only.
He
was just allowed to change in there 3 years ago because he won the title. They're like, I don't know. Those Italians are taking our jobs too.
Yeah, I was gonna say
You're not a white.
Italians weren't white until about the 50s, so Rocky got in just under the gun.
Yeah, well, you had to win World War II for us.
But we get to the fight, and Rocky comes out swinging here, right? And in this fight, he actually dodges punches and has a little defense by putting his hands up in this fight. This is the first, and I think the only fight, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to think of all the ones he actually fights in. He doesn't play any defense in any of these fights except for Rocky 3 in the second fight against Clubber Lang. He's dodging, he's bobbing and weaving, he's putting his hands up, he's doing the whole thing. It's the first time, and I think only time in this whole franchise.
Yeah, and during this fight, I kind of had this realization, like, dude, Sylvester Stallone has earnestly done so much for the sport of boxing. It's insane. Like this, he keeps making Rockies, and not necessarily because we're all clamoring to go see Rocky do it one more time, but because he knows it helps the sport of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps it going. It's promotable through boxing. He can get boxing, the cross promotion thing happening very easily with that. And just like the different like reality shows he's done with boxers and like really promoting that sport, it's crazy how like he made this his life. Like he didn't go to fucking Vietnam after making Rambo and start protesting to get POWs back. You know what I mean? Like, tell me he did. He didn't go after fucking Afghanistan and rebuild a school. Like, thanks for helping us win, Mujahideen. Here's a new school. Like, he didn't do that shit. But like Rocky, like this, like took over his life.
It really did. People considered him. I mean, not really, but they did consider him a real fucking boxer. In downtown goddamn Philly, there's a statue of him wearing boxing gloves and boxing trunks.
Not Joe Louis, who was a real boxer.
Not Joe Louis, fucking fake boxer in a movie. Like I think there's still people to this day that think that Sylvester Stallone actually was a boxer.
Yeah, I believe
that. For reals. I think that they think that. But, and again, this is one of my favorite fights too. And this is where, like, after like the first round, Rocky comes out, swinging. It then becomes your typical Rocky fight where Rocky gets brutalized for a round before he gets, the eye of the tiger in the third round, and he fucks Clubber Lang up, and he finally knocks Clubber Lang out, and he wins his title back. And this is also the first fight. I know it's the first fight where he plays defense. This is also the first fight, and I think one of the only ones, that he talks shit during the fight.
Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Ain't so bad. Come on, ain't so bad. Ain't nothing.
When I first saw this, I was like, oh shit, like Rocky's talking shit in this one. Like, he's not just like, oh, I'm going to take my beating and then I beat you up and then I go, yo, Adrian at the end. I'm like, oh, Rocky got some fucking, he's saying it with his chest in this one.
Yeah, I like, this is the first time I ever noticed that Rocky actually had a strategy. It wasn't Hart that won it for him. It was like he outthought the boxer, which is funny because he's finally using what Mickey wanted to do the whole time.
Yeah.
Which was go the 50. Like Apollo wanted to keep it short. He's like, Rocky can only go 7 rounds, maybe. We got to keep this short or else Rocky's going to get tired. Mickey, at the first fight, wanted to stretch the fight as long as possible and tire out Clubber. And so that's what Rocky finally implements here is that strategy. And it's fucking awesome. Because you're right. He's also putting that intimidation factor back in. Because after Rocky takes that ass whooping, he's like, you ain't so bad. Clubber Lang's like, dude, you're crazy.
Yeah.
When you've hit somebody as hard as you can and they're like, you ain't so bad, you're crazy, and walking away is the only option at that point. Like, you're done. It's the fight's over and you lost. You maybe landed the only punch, but you lost.
And this was also the first fight that I remember. So Rocky 1 and 2, you got Apollo and Rocky. 3 is Clubber, 4 is the Russian. So 3 and 4, these dudes, I think Sylvester Stallone realized when you oil a fucking ripped boxer up, it looks fantastic on camera. These two sons of bitches, it was literally like they just dunked them both in a vat of oil and then put boxing gloves on them. Like, they were shiny as fuck.
Dude, this is what I do to the guys I pay off a grinder to come over. I just dip them in oil and just...
It looks, visually, it looks fantastic on camera. Which I know is why you use it too, because visually it looks fantastic on camera.
Yeah, it looks fucking great.
You're like, yeah, this is awesome.
I take a picture of their ID first, just so there's proof.
But the movie ends here with Rocky and Apollo at the gym, where Apollo takes Rocky up on this favor that he's been asking him the whole movie for training him. They climb into the ring. They have this little private rematch just between them two. And we end with one of literally, I think, one of the most iconic freeze frames in film history outside of like Texas Chainsaw. Like that's...
Well, yeah, it fades into abstract art. Like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, it's dope. And that's actually one of the, like, I need to replace these. And I've always wanted the giant painting of that final frame, that freeze frame with the abstract. Listen, we can make fun of this movie all fucking day. Rocky's kind of an idiot, but bro, this movie is so goddamn good. And it hits you, it hits you right here. When you said it has heart, like, it fucking hits you right here. The whole goddamn movie.
Yeah, this movie gets a bad rap because Mr. T is kind of like, oh, Mr. T. And Hulk Hogan is obviously, whether it was then or now, Hulk Hogan's always Hulk Hogan. And then you add to that the dumbness of Rocky in general. And it's just like, oh boy. Yeah. This movie's a lot. But it's really good. It's got a lot of heart. It's got good story. Rocky admitting he's afraid. Like, we made fun of it.
Yeah.
But that's what you do when another man admits he's afraid of something. You basically like, oh, you pussy. I'm afraid. So
exactly.
So yeah, like, all of that mixed in with this, it gets lost. But like, him saying he's afraid and admitting that is a big deal and it has a lot of heart to it, especially admitting that to his wife. Because he already said, like, she brings up, like, you feel like less of a man, you feel like this, blah, 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 which every dude does. I don't give a fuck. Like, if you had your ass whooped, you don't feel great going home. That's a bad feeling. And whether it's your parents or your girl or your friends or whoever's going to see you, you feel less than when you have to face them. So, totally realistic. Again, if you have any kind of empathy, you can find the heart in this movie and really all of them. They just get a little more ridiculous because the 80s were fucking ridiculous. Yes. They were insane. Like, let me put it this way. Rocky IV, Sylvester Stallone wrote because he thought he could solve communism. The 80s were fucking insane. Insane.
Yes.
Like, he literally was like, I know what I'm going to do. Stop communism.
Copious amounts of cocaine were done and mad scripts were written.
Jesus. Something. HGH and fucking DMT and a little bit of South Philly racism for seasoning. And
just a little.
You gotta, just a
Just
Here's a little South Philly racism.
Just a little touch. You got to add some spice to it.
That's right.
You got to add some, the movie ain't good unless it's got a little spice.
Where's the racism, you donkey? That's like what you have to do. So yeah, and you put all that together and you got a good Rocky movie. But no, dude, I like this. I like all of Rocky V is trash, but the message is still good in Rocky. Like,
yeah.
So much of the message, I guess, is what our overall point is in these movies gets lost because they are silly and they are easy to make fun of. But
Yeah,
every
absolutely.
single movie has a good message to it. And
Mhm.
it's not just in your face, like, oh, I'm afraid and now I can fight again. And thanks, Adrian. Like, you gave me the will to fight on because I know you'll never leave me. And like, it doesn't have to be fucking spelled out for you. It's there. Just fucking watch it. And if you are dumb,
Yeah.
Adrian spells it out for you, just like she
Yeah.
had to do for her husband because he's fucking stupid.
Exactly. And the
American
message for-
Express, it hits hard when your bill comes.
And the
Jesus
message
Christ.
for Rocky 5 is to prevent HIV, use a condom.
Dude,
But
if you ever badmouth America, just remember a man that sounds like he's chewing on dimes his entire life has become a multi-millionaire celebrity icon.
yes,
And he literally sounds like he's chewing on dimes every fucking time he talks.
and a restaurateur.
Yeah.
On that note, I think we'll end it there. Well, for Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1982's Rocky 3.